Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on Tuesday, June 9th. Welcome on in, everybody. I hope everybody's having a great start to their day. I hope your basketball team won last night. Obviously, there's only two options. Welcome back, everybody. If you guys watched last night's game, we got a lot to talk about, and I already know what the conversation, what the topic of discussion everybody wants to talk with. And guess what? I'm saving that for the end of today's podcast. I'm not getting into what you guys want to talk about because that's what fake NBA fans do. Real NBA fans are going to talk about real NBA. All right. And you guys tuned into the right show. So I appreciate everybody for watching. The sty is going down more and more. The chat's telling me don't wear my contacts yet. So I'm not. Guys, the agenda here today, it's pretty simple. All right. We got to talk about game 3 of the NBA finals. That's pretty much all we're going to talk about today. There's no other NBA news. There's no trades. There's nobody. There's nothing. There's nothing happening right now other than the NBA finals. All right. So we're just going to talk about the game itself, and then I'm going to get out of here. All right. Game 4 will be on Wednesday. Yeah, I think the game 4 is on Wednesday. So I appreciate everybody for being here. As always, podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, YouTube, be sure to drop a like, follow, subscribe, all that jazz. Twitch, you guys already know you all got the easiest job in the whole entire world. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, and enjoy the show. I would like to say, be sure to watch on the Purple app. I see some of you guys on the TikTok. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? This guy said, finally, I've made it in time again. Why are you watching over there then, Goofy? I gifted you the New York Knicks crumble in New York for game 3. The Spurs stole it. They stole game 3 in New York. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, the New York Knicks were on a 13-game winning streak in the playoffs. And it has come to an end. Not just that, they've given life to the San Antonio Spurs. Final score 115-111. I've been saying it for the last weekend. You cannot crack that door open for the San Antonio Spurs. You can't. You cannot give them the slightest of confidence, the slightest of copium. You cannot allow them to win game 3. It's the most important game you've had in 53 years. And last night, Spurs started off hot as they have been. And then the Knicks came back, punched them back in the mouth, and then continued to score 42 points in the second quarter. And unfortunately for the Knicks, they only scored 47 points in the entire second half. They scored almost as many points in the second quarter than they did in the entire second half, but they won't tell you about that. I'm already being told in the TikTok, yeah, this is a conspiracy. They're rigging it for the Spurs. That's what they want to talk about. That's what Knicks fans want to talk about. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a basketball fan, and I don't have any dog in this fight. All I'm rooting for is a good series. And as an unbiased fan, I can tell you what actually happened last night, not what Knicks fans want to tell you was true. And you know, Anthony, my boy in the Twitch chat, he said, "Stop calling them Knicks fans. You're going to give them too much credit." And I agree with you. Agree with you. So what do I call them? The Knicks defenders? Do I call them the Knicks defenders? What do I call the side of Knicks fans that are saying that the series is rigged? What do I call them? The fake Knicks fans? LARPers? Call them TikTok bums. That's crazy. TikTok, I didn't say that, bro. I didn't say that. That was Cario's idea. But to be fair, Cario used to be in the TikTok along with you guys, but now he made the decision to come through to the Purple app. All right, so Anthony wants me to call them social media fans, but they gotta be related to the Knicks, right? And now Cam is telling me you're a grown man on TikTok Live. Get a family. I have a fiance and a beautiful dog. My life is good, bro. Let's go ahead and start the topic of discussion. I just remembered why I don't read the TikTok chat. Let's go ahead. We're going to talk about why the New York Knicks actually lost this game. It wasn't the refs. Were the refs bad? Sure. I think they've been bad all playoffs, but I think they've been equally as bad. And this series has been fairly officiated. Have there been bad no calls? Absolutely. The only bad no calls that you see go viral, though, are from, here we go, look at me, Knicks fans. I'm putting quotation marks when I say that. Wemby's not physical enough. He can't compete against us. Oh my God, Wemby's being too physical right now. Oh my God. That's what those Knicks fans are saying. Castle's grabbing Brunson. He's grabbing Brunson. What is he doing? Castle's not physical enough. He can't handle Brunson. That's what these Knicks fans want you to believe. Let's go ahead and talk about why the Knicks lost. Here we go, y'all. It's not rocket science. It's very simple. I'm not going to act like a philosopher. Mikal Bridges had 2 points. 1 for 5 from the field. Karl-Anthony Towns had 11 points. 4 for 10 from the field. Jalen Brunson had 32 points, but he was 11 for 25 from the field. Landry Shamet had 3 points, and he shot 1 for 8 from the field. Jose Alvarado, 4 points, 2 for 5 from the field. Dookie McBride, 0 for 2 from the field. Mitchell Robinson, a minus 13. That's why the Spurs lost, ladies and gents. Now, I'd like to ask you a question for those of you who watched this game. What do you think the Knicks did different last night? I think there was one big attention to detail. I'll talk about the good things the Knicks did. What do you think was the one reason, if you were to give me one reason the Knicks lost this game, what do you think it was? I'm going to read you some of the TikToks. It's really funny. And Mydor, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you. Spurs had 20 more free throws in the second half, correct, but they only had 10 more free throws than the Knicks did. Okay? So I don't care. That's not bad at all. I'm going to read you some of the messages on TikTok just so you guys can laugh, okay? Trump is the reason. Spurs had 21 points off of turnovers. Knicks had 7. I absolutely agree. Thank you, Joe. See, I'm reading the smart ones in the TikTok as well. The smart ones should come to the Twitch, though. They're idiots for staying in the TikTok. It was an Adam Silver call. They're cheaters. Jared, my boy. Jared in the TikTok said, Cat was nowhere to be found in the offense. That's the difference. Need I continue? You know what? I'll continue. 24-8 free throw advantage in the second half. Cheaters. Knicks versus refs. Cat got to get the ball more, period. I love you. Thank you, Jay. Cat was scared and didn't control the offense. Way too passive. I love you, Believe. Thank you. Knicks turned the ball over too much. I love you. Thank you. Torpedo said refs. Chris said foul calls. Nicholas said free throws. Ace said the refs. So as you guys can see, there's a lot of different opinions in the TikTok. Most of them, and I'm reading them right now, most of them are from the Knicks fans. Now, I have to say this again. The Knicks lost because they turned the ball over too much, and they went away from their offense that has worked in this win streak. Do you guys remember their last loss against the Atlanta Hawks? They were playing Brunson ball. That's right. They were playing Brunson ball. And guess what they played last night? From the very tip of this game, it was Brunson ball all game. Brunson ball all game. It was Brunson dribbling the ball for 20 seconds out of the shot clock, and that's why they lost. I've said this so many times this year. This is not new. This is not new to the playoffs. This is not new to the finals. This is not new to the Knicks. This looked like last year's Knicks. This looked like the 2-9 in February of this year Knicks. That's when the Knicks are at their worst. When they are relying on Brunson to go get a bucket or get an assist, he's not going to get you an assist. When you are relying on him to dribble for 25 seconds, that's why. And Alex in the TikTok seems to be very angry. I'd be angry too if I looked like that. He said, why the Pistons lost to the Cleveland? Yeah, because we're on that note, right? We're on that note. TikTok, stay stupid, bro. If you guys are not dumb, idiots, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. If I looked like that, Alex, I'd be pissed off too, bro. Brunson ball is not going to win you an NBA championship. And you know what? Guys, I hate to say it. Stephen A. Smith said something smart last night. In case you guys didn't hear what Stephen A. Smith said last night, it was actually, I've never heard, it's very rare when I hear Stephen A. Smith say something smart, but he did say something smart last night. He said, and I quote, Brunson looked like he was playing for that finals MVP trophy and not the NBA championship trophy. And I agree with him. I've never heard something more valid than that. The way he was playing last night looked like he just wanted his buckets and he wanted the offense to run through him. And that's not how the Knicks win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks are a deeper team than the San Antonio Spurs. The Knicks are a better matchup against the San Antonio Spurs. They should win this series. They're up 2-0. But now that they've cracked the door open, they've sort of exposed themselves in a way that you don't want to be exposed in the NBA Finals. They let the door crack open, and now the Spurs are going to walk through. Now, here's the issue, and I love that comment from Anthony in my Twitch stream. Mind you guys, I'm only reading the Twitch stream. He said, here's my rebuttal. Brunson has to play Brunson ball when we can't hit shots. And you know what? I disagree with you, Anthony. OG Anunoby had an incredible game. 28 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 9 for 13 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3. Josh Hart was having an incredible game until he didn't touch the ball for 25 minutes of game clock. He was having an incredible game, and then they iced Josh Hart out, and Cat had no rhythm at all last night. He was getting the ball, and honestly, he was being passive. I'm not going to put this all on Brunson. I'm not going to do that. But as a superstar in the NBA Finals, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it against Wemby when he wasn't good enough. I'm saying it about Brunson right now. There's no sense of, it's okay. It's okay. There's none of that in the NBA. This is the NBA Finals. Superstars can play iffy in the conference finals. Superstars can play iffy in the second round. Superstars can't really play iffy in the first round. The rounds that a superstar has to play well in is the first round and the finals. Those are the only series that people will truly remember, especially the NBA Finals. And ladies and gentlemen, I hate to say I called it exactly how it was going to go, but I called it exactly how it was going to go with Jalen Brunson this series. Knicks fans, Spurs fans, any other teams fans, you guys heard what I said. Wemby has a way at probing around the paint and making life difficult, extremely difficult, on players that rely on the mid-range pull-up. And Brunson, Cade, Shea, Jaylen Brown, all of those guys rely on that mid-range pull-up. And all of those guys have had their worst games of their career against one specific player. And that name is Victor Wembanyama. This series, right now, I called it exactly how it would go like this. I hate saying that. But Jalen Brunson is now 30 for 81 in this series. Again, he has shot 30 for 81 in this series and has 13 assists, but also 13 turnovers. Your point guard, your starting superstar point guard, has 13 assists in the series and 13 turnovers. So if you guys want to wonder why you guys lost this game, do some reflection and do some soul searching. Brunson has not been good. They won games 1 and 2, so he's forgiven. You lose game 3, now it's time to talk about the blemishes. I'm not going to talk about Brunson being bad in wins. I'm not going to do that. I'm never going to do that. Because here's what I always say. De'Aaron Fox had a horrible game last night. He was awful. If you watch this game, he was bad. But guess what? He hit the game-winning shot. Everything else goes away. I said it last night. Brunson has had one good quarter in this entire playoffs finals. In this entire final series. It was the fourth quarter of game 1. And it wasn't even that efficient compared to most of his normal fourth quarters. But he has had one good quarter in this final series. And that's it. That's it. Brunson has not been good. But guess what? Last night, Cat was passive. Meaning, Cat was not good either. OG Anunoby was great. Josh Hart was great until they iced him. Mikal Bridges was not being aggressive. Landry Shamet was building a brick house. Deuce McBride deserves 0 minutes in this entire series. Does not deserve any. And you know what? I'm blaming Mike Brown a little bit for one of these calls. The decision to remove Jordan Clarkson in the fourth quarter when he was the only guy that provided offense for you in the in the third quarter, asinine. I've been defending Mike Brown all year. I've been saying, chill on Mike Brown, chill on Mike Brown, chill on Mike Brown. You guys are going to love him. In the finals, You got to have Jordan Clarkson in right there. He was the only guy giving you guys offense in that third quarter, and yet you yanked him and didn't put him back in the game. You put Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet back in the game when they've given you nothing all game. They're only hurting you. They're only hurting you there. And I understand Jordan Clarkson is turnover prone. He is, but he was getting you buckets and he was trying on defense, which I think is very valuable in the finals. Deuce McBride gave you nothing last night. I understand, Knicks fans, you guys love Landry, or sorry, you love Deuce. I understand that. But at the same time, Landry played poorly, Deuce played poorly. In my opinion, Landry Shamet last night, he did not deserve 23 minutes. 1 for 8 is horrendous. Minus 20, that's the lowest team low for the game. Jordan Clarkson should have got minutes in the fourth quarter. It's egregious that he didn't. Mitchell Robinson was getting played off the floor and he wasn't even in foul trouble. He looked hurt. He looked tired. He did not look good at all. And in my opinion, shout out OG Anunoby. I've been saying it all year that this guy is truly, truly a professional. I love OG. He can make every team in the NBA better. My issue is what I saw from the like, you guys know what I always say. I always say there's 3 major X factors when it comes to playoff games. Guys, I've said it a million times. What are my 3 X factors? Are you ready? This is why it's very surprising this game went the way it was. I always say, whoever makes more 3-pointers, that's one of the 3 X factors. Guess what? Knicks hit 1 more 3. I always say, the team that out-rebounds the other team, that's my second X factor. Guess what? The Knicks out-rebounded the Spurs. And then my final X factor is turnovers. The Spurs had less turnovers than the Knicks. You know why that one overshadows the first 2 I just named? It's because 21 points came off of those turnovers. Again, 21 points from the Spurs were off of turnovers. 21 points. That's the fourth quarter points that the Knicks scored total. And they had that amount. They had more points off turnovers than the Knicks scored in the entire fourth quarter. And TikTok is saying, refs, sometimes you can't outplay the refs. And you know, my simple statement for you morons, stop watching basketball. Refs are only a problem when your team loses. Stop watching basketball. You will not be missed. 10 free throw discrepancy is not a discrepancy in the playoffs. That's normal. Dare I say, you guys should watch the podcast more if you want to up your ball knowledge. There's a lot of people in my Twitch stream that always tell me, Jay-Z, before I found your Twitch stream, before I found your pod, I honestly was a casual. Now I know about the Pelicans. Now I know about the Grizzlies. Now I know about the Spurs, the Knicks, the Lakers, the Pistons. Mostly the Pistons. If you guys are enjoying the show, I do this Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you want to get involved with my community, make friends that you can talk basketball with, or maybe even learn more about basketball itself, the link is in my bio, Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Again, that's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The link is in my bio. I'd love to see you guys come through. And I love this comment so much from Jonathan in the TikTok. Or sorry, not Jonathan. Modest. He said, nah, I'll pass. Zip up Wemby's fly when you're done slobbing on it. You know what's so funny about all of this? I haven't talked about Wembanyama at all yet, but thank you for reminding me. Let me start slobbing on his knob real quick. So let's talk about the Spurs. Victor Wembanyama absolutely threw his dick on the fucking wood floor and fucked all of these fake Knicks fans up last night. Not only was he bitching Brunson by pushing his head down to the floor and not getting called for it, he also landed in the landing space of Josh Hart, and he should have got a flagrant. Knicks fans, you guys are brain dead idiots. And honestly, you don't deserve to talk at all. Most of you guys watch basketball only when it counts in the playoffs. Oh, but wait, this is the first time it's actually mattered for Knicks fans in your entire fucking life. So enjoy it. Keep fighting people on the fucking streets. This is what you guys wanted, right? This is your moment. It's a good thing Donald Trump is out there for y'all. It's a good thing he's there. Enjoy that curse. You guys are losing game 4. You're going back to San Antonio tied 2-2. Enjoy that, baby. So let's go ahead and talk about the Spurs side. I told you I was about to get heated from the TikTok chat. These bunch of fucking idiots, bro. If you guys are in the TikTok and you want to get away from all these brain dead fucking virgins, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream because I'm about to get banned on TikTok. We're live on Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut. Jadina, thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate y'all very much. Sorry for snapping right there. I lost it a little bit. The TikTok, I'm not reading the TikTok. I just closed that stream out. I'm gonna get banned on the TikTok in a second. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to come through to the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut. Some guy in the TikTok said, "Good, you deserve it." All right, I just minimized it. I'm done. So, anyways, let me talk real basketball. My apologies for getting in my feelings, even though I'm not a fan of either of these teams. Talking about I think the most important thing from this Spurs game is that Wemby didn't wait for the game to come to him. There were moments where he was passive. There was moments in the fourth quarter that honestly Wemby got bailed out last night. There were two plays in particular where he settled for a deep three over Mitchell Robinson, which is a horrible shot. And then literally in the play before that, he was dribbling the ball at the top of the 3-point line, at the top of the key, and Cat was on him. And he dribbled the ball for 10 seconds at the 3-point line. And then with 3 seconds left on the shot clock, he dished the ball to Stephon Castle, and Castle hit a deep bomb. He hit a deep bomb. He got bailed out because without that shot for Stephon Castle, that wasn't happening. That win was not happening. Speaking of Castle, I got to talk about him. Castle last night imposed his will. I said Victor Wembanyama's got to impose his will. Bro, last night, watching Stephon Castle reminded me of like the first time I watched Stephon Castle. The way he can drive to the hoop, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. All I need for the Spurs to stop doing are taking these dumb ass threes. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It really does not work. Let's talk about their 3-point shooting real quick. De'Aaron Fox, 0 for 5 from 3. Dylan Harper, 1 for 8 from 3. Stephon Castle, 2 for 5. You'll live with that. Julian Champagnie, 3 for 7. You'll live with that. The amount of bad 3-point shots this team was taking last night was egregious. It was over and over and over again. They were settling for a 3, especially Wemby with these deep ass shots, not threes necessarily, but just holding the ball at the top of the key for no reason at all. Let me say some thank yous to some legends who left the TikTok and came through to the Twitch stream because I'm no longer reading the TikTok chat. I got rage baited and they actually won this time. Big Beastie, PBJ, Terietti, thank you for the follows on Twitch, guys. I appreciate y'all very much. There were 250 of you guys on the TikTok, so be sure to come through to the Twitch stream and be sure to join the Discord if you guys really want to make friends and talk basketball. Let's continue. Do I think this game was a landslide in any way? No. There was no point in this game where I thought, oh, it's over, other than when the Knicks took the lead in the second quarter and they scored 42 points. That's when I said it all depends on how the Spurs come out in the third quarter. And they came out firing. Just look at these third quarter stats. Julian Champagnie had 9 points. Wemby had 7 points. Devin Vassell had 5 points. De'Aaron Fox had 2. Dylan Harper had 7. Keldon Johnson had 3. And Luke Cornett also had 2. They came out and almost every single player other than Stephon Castle scored for this team. Guys, in the third quarter, everybody that touched the court damn near scored. Everybody scored except for Castle in that third quarter. You want to talk about why the Knicks lost? It's not the refs. It's not the officiating. We'll talk about that later. You know, you guys know me. I like talking about basketball, and the officiating is not basketball. We're going to save that for the last point because I think it's the least important point of this entire game. What I loved from Wemby last night is that he was actually trying to be aggressive. The issue is most of the times he was being aggressive, he ended up settling for a mid-range or a 3. You need more from Wemby. There was a point in time in the fourth quarter in this game where Dylan Harper, or was it Fox? No, it was De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox had the ball at the left wing, closest to Spike Lee. He had the ball on the left wing and he was dribbling, right? And he had Jalen Brunson on him. The worst on-ball defender in the NBA. Sorry, it's between him and Trey, but Brunson, since he's played more this season than Trae Young, he is the worst on-ball defender in the NBA. That's not an insult. That's just a stat. Nobody get offended by me saying that. I'm just going off by the percentages and stats. Brunson is the worst on-ball defender in the entire association from anybody that's played in the season this year, okay? So nobody get offended by me saying that. He had Jalen Brunson on him on the wing. Victor Wembanyama had Josh Hart on him in the corner. And instead of the 7'12" alien calling for the ball and posting up on Josh Hart, who he's got over a foot on, he went and set a screen for De'Aaron Fox. So instead of Fox attacking Jalen Brunson, who's the worst on-ball defender in the entire association, or instead of throwing a lob pass to Wemby with Josh Hart guarding him, Wemby goes and sets a screen for De'Aaron Fox, which then De'Aaron Fox got double teamed because he brought Josh Hart onto him. And then Cat switched back onto Wemby. Moments like that, especially in the fourth quarter, is what loses you finals games. It's what loses you playoff games. And moments like that, next year, Wemby will learn how to deal with. Next year, Harper, Castle, Vassell, Champagne, they will all learn how to deal with defensive schemes like this. It's too early right now. They just don't know yet, and that's more than okay. I got to give a couple more shout outs to people who left the TikTok and came through to the Twitch stream. Drake, Distorted, and Big Beastie. Thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. I really do appreciate y'all so very much. Guys, be sure to join the Discord as well. ! Discord in the chat. Click that link right there. We do watch parties all the time in my Discord. We did a watch party last night, and I was watching with everybody. I think we had like 60 people in the watch party last night. So if you guys do enjoy watch parties and like hanging out with people that actually know the sport of basketball, be sure to join the Discord server. Be sure to join the Twitch. I thought this was a very fun game. And, you know, that's all 3 games so far in this final series that I thought were incredibly enjoyable. I had a lot of fun watching it. I had a lot of fun talking about it. And overall, I think game 4 is going to be a banger as well. It's been an awesome final series. The only way it can get better is if, well, the Spurs win game 4 and then it's tied 2-2. And I think that'd be awesome. Home court advantage is out the window. I think it's going to be very, very fun. Now, the biggest issue is the Knicks' biggest game in 53 years is tomorrow. And if the Knicks come out the way they did yesterday, tomorrow, that's going to be bad news. That's going to be bad news. It's going to be very, very bad news. They need to come out with an aggression. They keep talking about it's 0-0. It's 0-0. Well, last night it didn't look like it was 0-0. If you guys were watching this game, the only one that had heart on that team was OG Anunoby. With all due respect, Brunson was playing hero ball. Didn't work. Cat was playing passive. That doesn't work. You got to play through Cat. Mikal Bridges, he was absent. Josh Hart, you iced him out in the second half. Landry Shamet was non-existent. Deuce McBride was non-existent. You got to give effort tomorrow. It's the biggest game in 53 years. And you know what? I see people in my Twitch chat arguing about foul calls. Let's go ahead and talk about foul calls and officiating from last night. Let's get it out of the way. I saved it for last, okay? Stop. If you're going to come into my Twitch and talk about officiating, just go back to the TikTok. Seriously, genuinely. If you're going to talk about officiating, don't join our Discord because that's for basketball knowers and basketball enjoyers. Don't join my Twitch stream. Just go back to the TikTok. We don't need you here. The officiating in this game, let's talk about it. It was bad on both sides. There are missed calls on both sides. If you want every foul to be called, then we're going to be here until 2 a.m. every night. Genuinely. Castle's being held. Brunson's being held. Cat's being held. Wemby's being held. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. The Knicks did not lose this because of officiating. They didn't. Was the officiating good? Did they miss a couple of things? Yeah, it was not good. And yes, they missed a couple of things. Were there no calls bad? Sure. Was some of the calls bad? Yeah. There were no calls on both sides. If you want them to call a foul whenever there's foul calls, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Wemby's going to be at the free throw line every single play. I hate to break it to y'all. If they're going to call a foul on every time there's an actual foul, Wemby's taking 140 free throws last night. Do you think I'm kidding? Remember this, Knicks fans. They only had 10 more free throws than you. Do you want it to be 100? Because that's very well possible. The Cavs had 100 more free throws than the Pistons. Again, I got to repeat myself. The Cleveland Cavaliers had 100 more free throws than the Detroit Pistons in their series. So keep complaining. It can only get worse. 10 free throw differential, that's normal. And I'm getting asked the question, do you think Wemby should have gotten a flagrant foul for the closeout? No. Hart stuck his leg out. Do I think Wemby deserved the flagrant foul for pushing Brunson down on the head? No. That's an offensive foul. Probably a tech. I've seen that 100,000 times. Plus, it's Wemby. Sorry to break it to you. It's Wemby. He's not going to get called for that flagrant. Unless it's absolutely egregious, they're not going to call that. They're not going to call that at all. And you know what's hilarious about all of this? Knicks fans, you guys are still winning the series. You guys are up 2-1. You guys are up 2-1. This is Victor Wembanyama. Do you genuinely believe with your full heart that they'd ever eject LeBron James in a finals game? Do you think they ever would eject Kobe Bryant in a finals game? Get fucking real, guys. I'm sorry, I hate swearing on these podcasts. Get fucking real. They're never going to eject a superstar. It doesn't matter that it's Wemby. And it's so funny that Meador is telling me so he admits superstars are overprotected. Buddy, am I Adam Silver? Am I David Stern? Am I the commissioner of the NBA? It's not up to me to protect superstars. Brunson's protected. Cat's protected. And guess what? Wemby is protected. If you guys want fouls to be called a foul, Wemby will be on the free throw line every single play. Yes, I know Wemby flops. I've talked about that all year long. Go watch this game back. He is being held all fucking game. All game. All game. All game. He is being held. If you genuinely want foul calls to be foul calls, then don't bitch to me when Wemby scores 140 points off the free throw line. And yes, Wemby does flop. Wemby does exaggerate contact. He does. He does. But was he getting held every single play of this game? Absolutely. Did they miss 100 calls on Stephon Castle? Absolutely. Did they miss 100 calls for Jalen Brunson? Absolutely. But if you genuinely want foul calls to be foul calls, these NBA games would be 7 hours long. I went to bed at midnight last night. I'm being told I'm a Wemby fanboy. I'm not a Wemby fanboy. I'm a fan of good basketball. And you know what good basketball isn't? Foul calls on every single play. Knicks fans, y'all want that, right? Y'all want that? You would lose that game. If this game came down to foul calls, you lose this game. If they're calling a foul on every foul, you lose this game. Wemby's dropping 140 points, 120 of them off the free throw line. If you want every foul to be a foul, you lose this game. Remember that. A 10 free throw discrepancy is not a lot. That's average for an NBA playoff game. That is average. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous seeing these basketball fans, these Knicks fans, come in my TikTok chat. I'd rather you blame Trump than the officials. Genuinely, I would appreciate you blaming Trump for this loss more than the officials. How fucking dare you guys complain about having 10 less free throws than the San Antonio Spurs? What a bunch of sorry ass crybaby bitches to be crying about a 10 free throw discrepancy. Stop fouling. Stop fouling. Bro, the Cavaliers had 40 free throws in multiple games against the Pistons. Were the Pistons fouling? Yeah. Were they fouling the Pistons? Yeah, they weren't calling them. If you want physical basketball, don't cry when it gets physical. I'm a Pistons fan. I love physical basketball. Am I complaining that the Cavaliers had 45 free throws? Fuck no. I'm complaining that Harden gets the calls and K doesn't. There's no reason that year 17 James Harden gets 15 free throws a night and my top 5 MVP candidate superstar in Cade Cunningham gets 2 free throws a night. That is bullshit. Not this. Not this series. This has been matched even. The officiating has been even. I hate to let you guys know, real Knicks fans right now, they're upset with the poor play of their team. Real Knicks fans. They're upset that Mikal Bridges was a no-show. They're upset that Cat didn't show up last night. They're upset that Brunson shot horribly last night. They're upset that Landry Shamet got all those minutes last night. They're upset that Deuce sucked last night. They're upset that all of these other players sucked last night. It's okay to admit that your guys suck once in a while. It's okay. I had to recognize that the guy I got a poster of behind me right there, the guy I spent $140 on a jersey, sucked the entire fucking playoffs. He was an all-NBA third team NBA center. He was an all-star for the first time. He's 22 and he's hot. He's fucking sexy. But guess what? He sucked in the playoffs. You can admit this. It won't hurt. I promise. Honestly, it feels fucking better when you admit when somebody sucks. It helps. So now that we talked about the officiating, let's talk briefly about what's going to happen in game 4. I think it's going to be a good game. If you guys want to hear my breakdown and my prediction, we will be talking about it tomorrow morning. So guys, be sure to be here at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. We are still live on Twitch. Let me get a couple thank yous. Drake, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Distorted, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Guys, if you want to talk with me, interact with me and my community, watch the games even with us, because last night we did another watch party. We had about 60 people at once watching the NBA Finals game with me and everybody else last night on my Discord server. If you guys want to join the Discord, the only way to do that is by joining the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. I will be breaking down tomorrow's game and talking about my prediction for this game tomorrow morning, as well as a couple other fun topics. I'd love to see TikTok come through to the Twitch. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch again. And let's go ahead and talk about my stud of the night. I think it's pretty obvious who my stud of the night is. It's Victor Wembanyama. He was the best player overall. He made a lot of fuck ups, and honestly, I don't think he had a good game. I really don't think he had a good game, but he was a big reason why that they won this game. His fourth quarter, I believe he had 10 points. Yes, he had 10 points in the fourth quarter. Victor Wembanyama in 39 minutes had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, plus 7 on the court. Only 1 turnover. That's really good, bro. If Victor Wembanyama is only committing 1 turnover, that is very good, bro. That is very good. And he shot 11 for 18 from the field and 2 for 4 from 3. He also had 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 73% true shooting. If your superstar is giving you that, it's going to be tough to lose. It's going to be very tough to lose. And I also want to give another shout out to Dylan Harper. I feel like I didn't talk about him enough. Dylan Harper, he's got to stop taking those threes. Like, bro, you're open for a reason. I'm sorry. You got to stop taking them. Like, if you remove all of his missed threes, 7 missed threes, if you remove all of those, he shot 5 for 11. Instead, now he shot 5 for 18. Dylan, you were incredible, bro. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. I'm sorry. Stop taking those threes. Castle was incredible. I love watching Castle when he's aggressive. And you know what? I'm going to end it with this comment right here that my boy Quick said. You said it yourself. Whoever wins the Cat and Wemby matchup is most likely going to win the game. It's that simple. Sometimes it comes down to 2 simple box scores. Whichever big man has a better game is the team that's going to win. And guess what, Knicks fans? I feel like I got pretty upset with you Knicks fans. I'm speaking to my actual Knicks fans. No quotation marks. You guys almost won this game. You guys almost won. And you had 3 starters. I'm not going to count Brunson. He still had 32 points. You had 2 starters that were ass. 2 starters that were ass. You had 1, 2, and 3 guys off the bench that were also ass. You had 5 guys on the basketball court that were ass last night. And guess what? You almost won this game. Okay. So I'm just, if you guys can cope a little bit, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's major copium, but you had 5 players who were ass last night and you guys almost won. So it's a good way to think about it. Really. It is. Just remember, like, it's okay to say that your players sucked. It helps because then you can look at the next game and be like, hopefully they don't suck next time. Sometimes basketball is very simple. Like, I know sometimes I like to sound like a philosopher, like I'm smarter than I actually am. Because sometimes it demands that, right? Sometimes basketball demands that. But right now, it's simple as, like, I could have just went live today and said, yeah, too many of the Knicks guys sucked, and a couple of the Spurs guys are really good. So that's all it came down to. Like, today, I could have said that. Today, I could have said that. A lot of the Knicks sucked, and they were sloppy. And yeah, to be fair, the Knicks have not had a really good offensive performance at all this game. And I guess the final stat, Quick is reminding me to say it. Quick said Knicks in the fourth quarter, not named Brunson or OG. They had 2 points, 1 for 16 from the field, 0 for 10 from 3 points, and still almost won. Like, that is crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy. Everybody not named Brunson or OG had 2 points, 1 for 16 from the field, 0 for 10 from 3. That's crazy. I'm going to read this last comment, and then I'm going to let the TikTok go. Jay-Z, I think Mike Brown needs to run more minutes with Cat and Mitch, especially when Cornette is in the game, to the point they have to bring Wemby in more and wear him down. I don't think they want to do that. They need offense right now, and their offense is horrible. Their defense is fine. Their offense is really bad. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, the Spurs win this game if De'Aaron Fox doesn't hit that mid-range. Okay, guys, TikTok, We are still live on Twitch. If you guys want more streaming, you guys want to interact with me, you guys want to watch the games with me, and you guys want to talk to everybody in my community as well as me, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. We're actually ending the TikTok right now, but we are still going live on Twitch. TikTok, have a blessed day, everybody. We are still live on Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Somebody's saying, Castle hit the big three-pointer. I already talked about that, fuckhead. We're live on Twitch. Jay-Z Uncut. Link is in my bio. Hope to see you guys come through. Oh my God, the TikTok really got to me. Ladies and gentlemen, podcast listeners, I apologize for getting so heated today. Podcast listeners, if you guys can do me a huge favor, leave a 5-star rating and review. I told you today's episode was going to be short. We were only talking about that one game, so I hope you guys did enjoy my breakdown of it. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Game 4 preview. We'll be talking about what I think needs to happen in Game 4, what I predict will happen in Game 4. I appreciate everybody for watching. As always, 5-star ratings and reviews. Guys, be sure to drop a like on the YouTube video, drop a like on all those podcasts, leave your comments, blah, 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 whatever. Join the Discord, join the Twitch stream. I love all of y'all so very much. I got nothing left to say except for thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching / listening. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for another daily podcast. I would like to remind everybody, though, again, this is not an ad. This is not paid for, but NBA The Run releases today at 2 p.m. Eastern. If you guys are a fan of that arcadey style NBA Streets basketball game, $30, Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, I'm buying it. I'm there. I'm there. I love y'all. And I hope to catch you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Love y'all and have a blessed day.